Wilder Show podcast. I'm Scott. That's Lauren.
Hello.
Hey, Lauren.
I'm ready to go.
How about this cool weather? We'll get to that in a second. Instagram, you'll search Wilder Show Pod, and you'll like it, and you'll follow us and all that. We appreciate that. Email podcast@wildershow.com. Wilder Show Podcast drops Tuesdays and Fridays, 6 a.m. Central Time on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeart, Amazon, wherever you get your podcasts. And like, rate, follow, subscribe, and share. We're also on the TikTok now and again. Hey, and the TikTok thing I think is going to get done. We'll talk about that. We have a little preview. We have many things, like almost like a miniature Trump scattershoot. It's Trump in Japan, Trump in Venezuela, Trump in the East Wing, Trump in an MRI, Trump in China, Trump in TikTok.
It's like Flat Stanley.
He's everywhere. He's everywhere. Chicken man.
Or Chicken Man.
How about the cool weather?
I love the cool weather.
Unbelievable. Mm-hmm. We're done with like extremely warm weather, like 95 and above.
Oh, yeah.
We're and above, higher. We're done with that, right?
Yeah, we are. We are. I mean, if you look 10 days ahead as far, I'm not looking at the Farmer's Almanac or anything like that, but no, we're not. We're going to be 60s and 70s as far as the eye can see, and nice chilly overnights.
This is the time of year I have to start wearing socks again. It's just, summertime is sandal time, and you wear shoes and socks when you play golf, or sadly, if you have to go to a funeral or a wedding.
In your steps.
Or getting in my steps, of course, which I always wear socks for that. But, this time of year now, you got to really sort of bundle up. For me, 40s, the ideal time. Earlier this week, I think it was Sunday or Monday morning, I think it was like 50 to start the day and 81 for the high, which for me is exactly right.
Yeah.
Like upper 50s or, upper 50s. To low 80s. Perfect for me.
Nice.
Perfect.
Very nice.
Yeah, I love it. So anyway, very good.
One more week before we change the clocks too, which I think that's really when you don't really have any warm days after. Even if you have to wait all the way until then for it to feel
November,
really cool. I don't really remember a time. I don't remember feeling really warm after the time change
Speaking of TikTok and the president looks like in his little trip to China, he had a whole Asian thing going on, an Asian tour going on, Japan and then China. He's going to meet with Xi Jinping.
Yeah.
Huh. I guess his pronouns will be she, him.
No. Silly. And
part of that talk is going to be, I think about TikTok. They're going to finalize the TikTok thing, I think. So anyway, that's out there. And Trump even said he was, he might be able to stay around a little longer if he could spend some time with Kim Jong-un. It's sort of like going on a business trip to San Francisco and maybe hanging out a couple extra days with family that lives there. If some good comes out of it. But let me do a little Trump dump here. Trump in the East Wing. Man, I think the East Wing thing, if you look at it realistically, there didn't used to be an East Wing. Then there was an East Wing. There didn't used to be a West Wing. Then there was a West Wing. That was added on. At the same time, I don't like the change. It's not just I'm old and I don't like change. But I don't like the changing of like a monument.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't like don't change the monuments. If you're living there for a while, you do what you want on the inside, but keep the outside looking the way it looks. We don't want it different, as a people, I don't think. And I think there are people that voted for Trump or even are for Trump or for the conservative side who would say, yeah, it's kind of bummed about that. Now, who knows where it's going to end up, but I think it does hand Democrats sort of a little something for the next presidential run.
Yeah.
We're going to restore. He destroyed America like he destroyed the East Wing. Can you see them saying
the East
that's
Wing.
Right? And rebuild America. So go with us and blah, blah, blah. Now, there's one thing in the way. Well, many things in the way. But one of the things in the way of Democrats being effective in the presidential run for 2028 is what was announced this week. Speaking, I think, to the BBC, of course, she would make this known through or to the BBC. Kamala Harris is teasing a 2028 presidential run.
Mm-hmm.
And let me tell you something. I'm not literally praying for it.
Yeah.
But sort of.
She'd have a lot to overcome, wouldn't she?
Well, it's not even her. Here's the thing. It harms the Democrat Party. The party is harmed by her running.
Yeah.
Because all these people that defended, yeah, she was the one, she was the one, she was the one. Yeah, no, we weren't crowning her. No. She was the one, she was the one. Okay, if she runs again, how do you back off from that?
Right.
How do you back away from that? If she was the one before, why isn't she the one now?
Mm-hmm.
And if she isn't the one now, was she not really the one before? Was she not really the one that should have been the one before?
I think they can cover all that with, times were different. This is where we were then. This is where we are now. But I mean things like the things that she, like she's had a book come out since her last run for president.
The other guy?
Dissing and maybe being dishonest about that. Buttigieg said we never had any conversation
right.
about it. And she talks about a conversation where we agreed. Not only do we not agree on that, we never had that conversation.
I found out about it the same way y'all found out. Yeah.
So it seems like she might have a couple of things to overcome.
And what Democrats would have a problem with is the same thing they counted on being a problem for Republicans. What are those two things when it comes to Kamala Harris running for president? What are the two things that Democrats counted on being a huge problem for anyone who would oppose Kamala Harris as a Democrat nominee? That she what? That she's what? And what? That she's a woman and she's a woman of color.
Yeah.
Well, if that's a problem for Republicans, that's a problem for Democrats. They're going to go after Gavin Newsom, go after a white guy. Another man, kind of a white man again, when you could have had this woman of color, the same one you wanted before, the same one that you said was the right one without a primary or anything else. She's the one.
Mm-hmm.
I hope she runs. I really, really hope she runs. Robbie Soave, S-O-A-V-E, Robbie Soave, is a senior editor for Reason magazine, and he writes in The Hill today, when she pursued the presidency in 2019, that's when she was running against Joe Biden, her campaign faltered, he says, faltered badly from the start. She could not connect with any significant constituency of the Democratic Party. She dropped out before the primaries really got underway. And in 2024, the only reason she became the candidate is because Joe Biden dropped out and handpicked her as his replacement. And then Democratic elites coalesced around her.
Wouldn't there be something inside of you that would want to, I have to at least, I may never be president, but I have to run a good race. I have to get further. I have to prove that I have that I have a winner in me. I might not. I just have to. I got to do better. I got to do better. Even if I don't win, I have to do better than I've done. I
think from their side, really either side, you have to at least come to a point where you feel like everyone can agree you were the right nominee. I think that's how people feel right now. Republicans obviously feel she's not the right nominee. Last time around, but I think Democrats do too. I think Democrats know that they can't say it out loud. Every now and then somebody says it out loud. But listen, here's the deal, and this writer in The Hill today says this. Harris is not very appealing. And then he says, don't take my word for it. Here's Bernie Sanders recently lamenting the failures of the Harris campaign to offer an agenda that was attractive to working class people. This is what he said. You have a choice to make. Either you work with people like Mark Cuban, a multi-billionaire, or you stand up and say, I am prepared to take on big money. I'm prepared to stand with the working class. He goes on, I think it's very hard to say that Kamala Harris ran a campaign that spoke to the needs of the working class. So he wasn't on board. He wouldn't be on board again. So all that to say that there would be enough people that would be on board. People would want to, say, let's bring it back and put the band back together or whatever. It'd be great. I would love it. I hope so much that she'll run. I want to encourage her to run. I'm not sure I would pledge money for her to run, but I think it'd be fantastic. Robbie Sove, senior editor of Reason magazine, concludes, mark my words, if leading voices within the Democratic Party do not encourage Harris to think very, very carefully about whether she is really the right person to go up against J.D. Vance, in all likelihood in 2028, they're going to regret it for their own electoral sakes. I agree with that.
Yeah.
I think it will be J.D. Vance. And I'd love for it to be Kamala Harris. Love it. Because I think it'd be a guaranteed lose on the parts of Democrats. Okay. President Trump had an MRI. Did you see this? He was talking on the Air Force One, and I will give him that. He always walks back there and talks because he loves for people to hear him talking. I mean, he loves it. It's like, yeah, of course he's doing that. It's like transparency. Enough transparency.
We can see everything.
Yeah, too much. He's talking. He's saying that he went to Walter Reed 2 weeks ago or whatever it was, and that while he was there, he got an MRI. People are like, wait, what? And of course, he has to report that, and I'm not kidding, I may be changing the words a little bit, but really in form or substance, he really did say, and the doctors told me, sir, this is the greatest MRI we have ever seen. It is an MRI, the likes of which no one has ever seen before. But it brings up a couple of things. Number one, why did he get the MRI?
Aren't they usually looking for something? You don't usually have an MRI.
Preemptive or whatever.
Well,
or diagnostic.
I've had an MRI.
But they were looking for something.
They were looking for something that they didn't really think would be there. They just wanted a better look, wanted to make sure that there was nothing there. But I don't think I've ever heard of anybody just saying, just go in the machine and we'll look at everything and be sure there's nothing that we should be aware of.
Yeah, well, he's, we don't know why. That's number one. We don't know why. But number two, when the report came out that he had been to Walter Reed, we were not told that he got an MRI.
Yeah.
And now I'm not saying we have to know everything all the time, but that is a little bit weird.
Do you think they were waiting to read the MRI before?
I don't think so. Maybe, but I think probably they wish Trump had not even announced that.
Huh.
I mean, probably whatever was known was fairly quickly knowable within 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know much about MRIs, but it seems to me that would have been known or knowable.
If you're the president, it's probably knowable fairly quickly.
Yeah. So I think they probably like, oh boy, here we go. We got it. Now we got to explain all this. Got to come up with all kinds of press releases to explain it and all this kind of stuff. But I think it sort of feeds a sense of, you guys aren't telling us stuff. And I know that's kind of the world we live in these days. 10 things the government won't tell you about whatever. So you don't think I'm making it up. The president was asked on the plane on Air Force One about his trip to Walter Reed. And did you go? And he said, I did. And then he says, this is a quote, I got an MRI. It was perfect. I gave you full results. We had an MRI in the machine, the whole thing, and it was perfect, the president said. So that is his answer about what happened, and we didn't know about it. The president said his doctors offered reporters a very conclusive report of the exam, but the White House has not previously disclosed the reason for this whole second visit. He said, I think they gave you a very conclusive. Nobody has ever given you reports like I gave. He really said that. Nobody has ever given you reports like I gave you. And if I didn't think it was going to be good either, I would let you know negatively. I wouldn't run. I'd do something. But the doctor said some of the best reports for the age, some of the best reports they've ever seen. How can always that be the case that where he's just the likes of which no one has ever seen before? Anyway, whether this could have been something because of it's not deep vein thrombosis, a chronic venous insufficiency.
Okay.
I think is what he was diagnosed with that, right? That was the whole thing with the swollen ankles and maybe the thing on his hand or whatever. Chronic, is it venous or venous? Anyway, chronic venous insufficiency, valves inside certain veins don't work like they should. And it allows blood to pool, but it's not that rare. 150,000 people a year are diagnosed with it.
Yeah.
And the risk goes up as we get older. So there you go. But the real thing that I think about is why didn't we know that? Why didn't we know? If we're ever going to know it, okay? I'm not saying we should always know everything, but if we're ever going to know, it shouldn't slip out from the president on Air Force One.
Yeah.
But you can't really control the message that way. Anyway, so is the president fine? I don't know. According to his doctors, he's better than anyone has ever been.
For his age.
Or maybe for any age. The East Wing, and I'm on record already. I don't like the changing of the stuff. I like the stuff on my dollar bills the way it is. I like to see the White House the way I like the East Wing. I like the West Wing. I like the middle part. I like it all. I don't want a big, beautiful ballroom. I don't really care about that.
Yeah.
If it means tearing something down. But you know what? I've also sort of not been on board for all the different monuments to all the different things. And I mean, how many monuments are we going to have? I'm not saying we can't have more, but it's like, really? So it's like holidays. You got this and this Heritage Day and that, all the holidays and all the special months and it almost becomes meaningless at some point. If every day means a great deal, then almost none of the days really mean anything. Anyway, in this whole East Wing thing, when these media companies are for sale, remember the thing with 60 Minutes? It's 60 Minutes, and it was CBS, and CBS owned by Paramount, and Paramount was going to be bought by Skydance. So CBS has their thing with the president and 60 Minutes, and they get a lawsuit going on. The FCC is involved in whether they get the okay to be purchased, and so CBS sort of acquiesces and says, here's some money, and I go away, and Trump says, okay, and that's that. And, of course, people went crazy. So the real point was, did journalism get impacted by this political stuff? Many journalists say, absolutely. Absolutely, that is what is happening. And you look at the changes that are going on at CBS right now. CBS Evening News has now lost John Dickerson.
Yeah.
He's gone. He was the co-host of the Evening News. And this is all because of the new person in charge. And that's all because of this sort of new take on what they're going to do. And a lot of people think that it's because of sort of a kowtowing or a bending of the knee to the administration. That is what people are afraid is going on at CNN. Well, that brings us to what happened, was it this week? Perhaps last week. CNN CEO, according to the Daily Beast, latest to bend the knee before Donald Trump. It's Mark Thompson. He told the cable network's reporters, hey, ease up on the coverage of the demolition of the East Wing. After the CEO, Mark Thompson, paid a visit to the White House last week. It's denied by CNN. The report from the Status newsletter appears to be the latest example of media bosses bending the knee before the Trump administration. And, of course, it's the bulldozing of the East Wing to make way for the big, beautiful ballroom, more than twice the size of the rest of the White House.
That's crazy.
It is crazy. And the teardown prompted all kinds of outrage, of course. Chelsea Clinton said Trump is taking a wrecking ball to our heritage. Patty Davis called it heartbreaking and complete destruction. Neither of those two people would be in the news.
Were they not? Yeah. Weighing in on the new ballroom at the White House. Yeah.
A CNN spokesperson confirmed to the Daily Beast that Thompson was, in fact, at the White House last week. And, of course, what this means is the people that report the news, forget about CNN, anybody who's a reporter of the news, they're worried, well, what other things can't I talk about? What other coverage has to be discouraged if it is, in fact, really news? So CNN spokesperson did say, yeah, Thompson was at the White House last week, but this is a quote. There was, quoting, zero truth to the conjecture in this status column. That's the name where the column was written. That was not fact-checked before publication. That doesn't mean it wasn't true. Thompson is the CEO of CNN Worldwide. So in the same way with CBS, 60 Minutes, they kowtow because they want to please the president, please the regulators. Same way with CNN being for sale, through Time Warner being for sale, or that. See, it's complicated because it's not really Time Warner being for sale. Time Warner split off their different things. And one of the things they split off was CNN and the Discovery. So CNN Discovery would be for sale, but that doesn't mean that Time Warner would be for sale. Does that make sense?
Sort of, but
Okay.
it's not you. It's me and what my capacity is
that's all right.
for all of this.
Anyway, the way to tie it together, I hope, is to say there is some concern that journalistic integrity is being compromised for money. That they can't simply say, this is a news story, this is the truth, this is how we're reporting it, because that's what reporters do.
Yeah.
60 Minutes says, nope, stop that. We're going to pay this guy off. We got to have the sale go through. Sale goes through. Okay, we're okay now, right? Mm-hmm. And now you have CNN, and the charge is that the CNN chief, Mark Thompson, is doing the same thing, saying, listen, just back off a little bit, would you? Back off on the stories of... Don't be so harsh on the stories of the demolition of the East Wing. So I'll put an ender on this the way we began. I don't like that it's going away or that it's gone away. I don't like it. And I think it hands Democrats a ton of stuff, except if Kamala Harris runs, they won't be able to use it anyway. It won't matter. And real quick, very strange story. Pay attention to some of the stories about our military, and especially those that involve strange things like this. An F-18 Super Hornet and a Seahawk, that's a helicopter, both from USS Nimitz, crashed in the South China Sea 30 minutes apart. Now, they did not crash into each other.
Yeah.
They both separately crashed 30 minutes apart.
That's quite odd, right?
It is, I'll say unprecedented, but it is very, very strange. Very odd indeed. The Seahawk helicopter flying from the Nimitz crashed into the South China Sea while in a routine operation about 2:45 Sunday afternoon. The F-A-18F Super Hornet fighter jet crashed just minutes later at 3:15. So 30 minutes apart. Now, all those on board, I think there were 3 on the helicopter and 2 on the F-A-18F. All survived. The pilots were able to eject themselves, and the pilots and those on board the helicopter were rescued.
That's wonderful.
But what causes that? You think about this for a second, and this is where some people. This is not conspiracy stuff. Mm-hmm. You just wonder, well, what would it be?
Sure.
I mean, you have to look at everything. I mean, the Navy, and by the way, they're in the South China Sea.
Yeah.
I mean, what's the backup? There's no backup for there's no backup for this USS Nimitz. So you have to figure out, well, okay, is it the people that worked on it? Is it the parts? And this is a part that people are wondering. Could it be the fuel?
See, you said, when you just a minute or so ago, you said you have to wonder, but really, I would not have even wondered. I would not. I would have waited for somebody to tell me, because all of that seems so far outside of my.
But you're smart. I mean, you can think about. Here's the deal. It is a huge carrier, literally half a world away.
Yeah.
Whatever fuels those things.
Well, when you said
coming.
that's
it's on
what
board.
I meant. It seems like, oh man,
it's on board.
Yeah.
And now you have other fighter jets and other helicopters. What is a confidence level that you have that things are going to go until you figure it out? So until you figure it out, it sort of feels like you're stuck.
Yeah.
You can have a big boat flying around over there, and any maybe other fighter jets could land on it and take off from it. But in terms of housing and fueling, I don't know what it was. Nobody knows what it was. But even those, forget about politics, right or left or Republican or Democrat, President Trump or the people who hate President Trump, experts are saying this is really weird, and it's going to take a really good investigation. You got to figure out what this is. So anytime you have something like the USS Nimitz, now it's not just that one big ship there. They have all kinds of flotilla or whatever around them. Mm-hmm. It's not just one out there by itself. At the same time, the fuel that is burned by helicopters and by jets, it's on board. Mm-hmm. It's from there. Mm-hmm. So is it bad fuel? Is it? I'm quite sure it's not something nefarious. I don't think somebody
compromised in some way.
I wouldn't think so. But they're going to have to look at all that, because it doesn't happen. You don't have a fighter jet crashing 30 minutes after you have a helicopter crashing in the South China Sea. It could not be in a worse part of the world. Part of what those fighter jets do is they fly around and say, hey, we're big and we're tough. Mm-hmm. I mean, they do runs all around South China Sea, and people can observe that, in fact, that's pretty happening, pretty good. And then the helicopters, a lot of times they do training missions for rescue. And the weird part here is the one that would normally go out, and perhaps they were even out on a training mission for rescue, ended up needing to be rescued. Mm-hmm. But I don't know. It's just a little thing in the news, and I'll definitely be watching that to see what the heck happened there. One other thing, the Louvre.
Yeah.
You see they caught 2 of the guys?
I did.
Well, they've arrested 2 of the people.
Uh-huh. You were surprised at their age.
I was. I thought they might have been younger. Uh-huh. I don't know why, but I thought kind of young.
They weren't really old.
No, but in their 30s.
Yeah.
I thought, really? It seems like something like somebody 27 would do. Not, I mean, in 27 and dumb and just, hey, watch this. Not somebody in their 30s. Uh-huh. By 30s, it's almost like, okay, you're really serious, right?
Yeah.
You're part of an organized gang robbery or a conspiracy group to commit crime. That's sort of different from, hey, hold my beer. Watch what we can do.
Well, yeah.
Anyway, both men in their 30s in, I can't pronounce it. It's a rough suburb north of Paris, detained by police. In fact, I think they were about to try and leave and go to Algeria. So a lot of people thought they were all out of the country by now.
Interesting.
But at least 2 of them were still in the country. And where are all the things? Where all the stuff that you stole? And we found the tiara, as we've talked about.
Dropped on the way out.
Dropped because they didn't have enough bobby pins to put in. And so there you go. Cops have not yet recovered the stolen jewelry. The alleged thieves are known by police for past robberies and believed to have conducted the high-profile heist on commission. So somebody hired them to do it. How about that?
So this shows you how much I know. Yeah. So little. You said a rough suburb outside of Paris. I've never been there. My first thought is, I never even considered the slums of Paris. I didn't even.
It's Paris.
Yeah, there are rough suburbs.
Right.
Yes, there are rough suburbs everywhere.
That's right.
Had no idea.
Yeah, even Paris. Mm-hmm. Oh, it is time for Scattershoot.
Let's go.
Wilder Show Scattershoot. This is where we, put all the stuff in the Scattershoot, right? Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. I mean, some of the stuff is in the other thing, and then the other stuff that doesn't go in there, we put in here.
It's kind of the leftovers.
Yeah. But you know what? Honestly, spaghetti tastes better the second time around.
That's a great way to think about it.
I mean, sometimes the leftovers get a bad rap, I think. Mm-hmm. Leftovers, I love leftovers.
Leftovers to me just mean I didn't have to cook as much.
There you go.
And it's not. I enjoy cooking, but I feel really efficient when I can make something that I can eat more than one time. It can feed me over a period of days.
Yeah, I like that too. I like to make it, and then you can do other things. Let's say you grill some chicken. Yeah, you can make some chicken salad. Yeah. Or you can eat the chicken breasts with some, whatever, vegetables, or you can slice it and make some chicken nachos.
I don't think you're spending as much time on TikTok as you say you are, because if you were, you would know that's called meal prepping.
Yeah, meal prepping. Exactly. That's what I mean. Meal prepping. That's right. Mm-hmm. I've been doing some magic tricks on.
You cooked less because you're learning some new card tricks.
Learning some card tricks on the TikTok. Anyway, here we are with, they're pretty good ones though, you got to admit.
They're good card tricks.
Pretty good.
They're good card tricks, yeah.
Here we are with Scattershoot.
Yeah. This week is Halloween.
It is.
Coming up on Friday of this week. And for all the talk of tariffs and people
Cocoa
don't have
prices.
as much money, and we don't have as much money to spend as we normally do, it is not. It doesn't seem to matter one bit to the people who are spending a record amount of money on Halloween this year. Have you already seen what the figure is?
No, but what? It's just a reminder that people have money to spend, or they find money to spend on things they want to spend money on.
Yeah.
If you want to spend money on, chocolates or whatever,
or fake spider web, or fancy costumes, or
it's everywhere. It's almost like a Christmas decoration type stuff. I mean, adults changing all the light bulbs in the outdoor to orange.
Yeah.
So the whole outdoor is now, spooky or whatever, and just I don't know. I don't know what I'm a little disturbed by the love. Not in a like it's devil worship or anything. Just sort of kind of creepy. I don't get it.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to, slow your roll if this is your big holiday.
There are so many. I have so many great memories of when my kids were young, and I could pull out, pictures of all of the cute costumes they had and all of the fun stuff that we did. But really, when I look at the amount of money that people spend on Halloween, it runs a little a different kind of chill runs down my spine just at the memory of getting all of that together and the money that had to be spent to do that. And so I don't miss that part of it. But the average per person spending $114.
Is that right? Each person who spends money. So kids wouldn't be spending money.
Well,
you're spending money for the kids. Yeah. Okay. So you spend 100. The average person who buys stuff, either costumes or whatever, candy and whatnot, spends about 100. Whatever you said.
When the kids were little, I'm sure I spent. I probably spent more than $114 from year to year on things like that. This year, I won't be spending anywhere near that. Now, I think even in the last, I'm not buying any dog costumes this year. We're wearing all hand-me-downs.
Okay. We're wearing the same thing we wore last time.
No, nobody's getting dressed up at my house for Halloween this year. I haven't even bought any candy yet, which is unlike most people who will buy candy 2 times before they get the final bag.
You
they will buy one bag and it's gone, and then they buy a second bag and it's gone, and then you're close enough to Halloween that you can buy the bag. I can't do that because I can't trust myself around. I would be that. At least there's a little bit of comfort in knowing I'm not the only one. Who would have done that? I've bought no candy for Halloween. But do you want to just take a guess at how much we will spend collectively on Halloween this year?
I know it's the second most spent on holiday,
and this is a record for Halloween.
Second only to Christmas.
And I just saw that the trends say that we will be spending less on Christmas this year.
They say that,
the projections are looking like we'll spend less, but still spending a record amount on Halloween.
Well, they say that now, but wait and see.
Yeah.
Wait and see.
It's
who
pretty
knows?
Close, though.
But I would say probably. See how much money you say Americans?
Yeah.
How much do Americans spend? It's like it's over $1 billion.
Oh my gosh, you're not even close.
It's $50 billion.
No, 13.1 billion.
$13.1 billion.
$13.1 billion. Wow. That's about $4.3 billion on costumes, $4.2 billion on decorations,
that's insane.
$3.9 billion on candy, and $700 million on greeting cards. I'm sure my grandparents used to send us little Halloween cards. And I'm sure my mom has always done that for her, her little grandkids who lived out of town too. Yeah, I get it's crazy. One of the other things that I saw though was the most popular Halloween candy.
Oh, I can guess some of these. I guarantee you.
I'm gonna now.
I know number one. There's no doubt what number one is.
I bet you don't.
I bet I do.
I'll bet you don't.
Okay, the number one candy is Reese's.
It is not.
What?
It is not.
Okay, in my top
five. It's an
upset. I would say, Snickers has got to be in there somewhere.
In the top, yes.
Top
in
10
the top,
for sure.
Top 4 is a tie between Baby Ruth and Snickers.
Baby Ruth?
Mm-hmm.
Really? That kind of surprises me. I would say
ate so many Baby
Snickers.
Ruths.
I like Baby Ruths.
From Halloween, and then my kids.
I like those.
Halloween.
Those are good.
Mm-hmm.
I would say Reese's. I would say
Reese's is number 2.
Okay, Reese's.
Mm-hmm.
Don't tell me number 1 is something like, is it Twix or
no,
Kit Kat,
it's new.
or it's something
new,
that the kids like?
Is
it something
love
like?
them.
Oh, wait a minute.
They're one of my new favorites.
I know what they are. It's the clusters.
It is.
It's the what's it called?
It's the Nerd
clusters. Yeah. Now that is pretty good. It's hard for me to believe though that more money will be spent on those, because I think a lot of mature people that are used to the taste of things can't believe they would spend more money on the Nerd clusters than they would on the other. But okay, so give me the top 10.
Okay, so let's
start at 10
I was
and
really
go
kind of when I was looking at this list, there are 32 candies on this list, and I was kind of disappointed to see that Smarties were like way up at number 26
Smarties
or something like that. I love Smarties. Smarties have always been my favorite candy until I saw that Gummy Clusters had taken over the number 1 spot, and then I felt better about it. Okay, so number 10 is Twix. Number 9, Starburst.
Okay.
Number 8, Trolley Sour Bite Crawlers.
Okay, those are good.
Those are good. Fans.
You're also going to have You're also going to have. What is it? The Skittles has got to be in there somewhere.
Skittles is in the top 5.
Okay, go ahead.
We just didn't get to that. Number 7, M&M's.
Yep.
Number 6, Take 5. Reese's Take 5. Those were just kind of up and comers.
Okay.
I think when my kids were still trick or treating. I don't remember having a lot of those. Number 5, a classic, Butterfinger.
Love Butterfinger.
Butterfinger was something that I would never buy during the year, but loved getting at Halloween. And
I also like to make Butterfinger ice cream.
Oh, yeah.
And also Heath ice cream, Heath bar ice cream.
Heath not even in the top 10.
I know, go ahead.
I'm sure they're here somewhere in the top 32, but yeah. Number 4 then was Baby Ruth Snickers. Baby Ruth / Snickers. Number 3, Skittles.
Really?
Not a surprise. People love their Skittles. And then number 2, Reese's. And number 1, the Nerds Gummy Clusters. Something else that really I can't have in the house.
Around the house.
I had a little movie night with my daughter a couple of weeks ago. We watched a movie here at the house, and I had bought us just one little bag to share. And we didn't finish the bag, and I had to send them home with her. I couldn't have them here. I just can't. I can't trust myself with them.
I could dole them out to you.
Well, that's what I need to have.
Like a dispenser.
You know what, though? I think we've done that. I think you bought some at an airport once. You were going to just dole them out to me.
You'll always say, well, you hold these, and then every now and then I'll ask for one. And then I'll put them away, and like a few minutes later, it's like, okay, give me a couple.
Well, and you do. And I mean, sometimes
I just
say
no?
No. Yeah.
Oh, my goodness. Okay. Who do you think I am? You? UFOs. A lot of people have been following the UFO, that thing flying across, whatever, the sun and then Mars or whatever it is. It's going to bump into something, they say. I don't think it's going to. You know the one I'm talking about. The big thing, it's like as big as Manhattan or something. It's floating across or flying across or speeding across the sky. And people are saying, oh, is it a UFO? Or is it really just, an asteroid? Because it looks kind of funky.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Do you ever, when I tell you that I'm not aware of something that you know a lot about, do you ever feel like what world is she living in?
Oh, not at all.
Well, because let me tell you why I thought of that. I was with a friend over the weekend, and we went to see a movie, and we talked about a movie that I had seen the week before, and it was a movie she had never heard of. And I don't have to really be cryptic about it. The week before I'd seen One Battle After Another, which to me seems like it's everywhere. Everybody's talking about that movie. And she had never even heard of that movie. And I thought, this
Where
is
have you
so
been?
weird. It's like she's living almost in a parallel universe where, because I know she's interested in a lot of things. And I know, she goes out and she sees people every day. She goes to work every day. She's a teacher. So I know that her time and her mind is filled up with a lot of things, but there are things that are really different from the things that my mind is filled up with. And I just started thinking about other people and how we're all kind of like, we think we're in the world, but are we really just in this little narrow path that we've created by the things that we choose to consume? Anyway, back to the UFOs that you know about, and I know very little about.
But more fully answer your question, no. When you don't know about something, honestly, I don't question you. I question me. I think, what world am I living in?
I don't. That's funny, but I don't know if it's.
It is.
I think
it's
you
true.
know. You know.
No, it's true. Stuff. That's true. But anyway, UFOs, unidentified what? What is what? Unidentified what?
Flying.
That's right. Unidentified flying object. That's what UFO stands for.
Yeah. Does it still, or have we changed that? Is that politically incorrect somehow? Now we have to call it something else?
No, I think for the most part, people still call it UFO.
Okay.
A popular UFO reporting app, though, has a brand new thing called USO.
Okay. Unidentified.
They have recorded thousands of sightings of unidentified submersible objects near U.S. waterways. It is a phenomena which high-ranking U.S. Navy officials warn could pose a threat to national security. We think about stuff in the sky, but rarely do we think about stuff under the water.
Yeah.
So that's a whole new thing. Enigma, which touts itself as the largest queryable historical sighting database for global UFO sightings. And it says it received over 30,000 UFO unidentified flying objects and unidentified anomalous phenomena since launching its little thing in 2022. But the sightings haven't been limited to the skies. Reports also coming about strange objects rising from the depths of the sea or plunging into the water without so much as a splash. Anyway, it's just something to know about. I'm not saying it's up, but I mean, I'm looking at places where they have been sighted. Virginia Beach, Virginia. What is in Virginia Beach, Virginia? What is there? It is the largest naval base in the world. Not just in America, not just the largest U.S. naval base. It is the largest naval base in the world. And all along the East Coast. Anyway, so if you ever hear about USOs, or maybe, surprise your friends.
Submersibles.
Yeah. Unidentified submersible objects. As of August, Enigma has also logged more than 9,000 mysterious sightings within 10 miles of U.S. shorelines or major bodies of water, 500 of them within 5 miles. And more than 150 reports describing objects hovering above or descending into waterways, according to Marine Technology News.
Okay.
So it is the kind of thing that you think, come on, really, for real? But these USO sightings, most reported were in California, also Florida, both among the top 3 U.S. states with the most ocean coastline, of course. One of the most bizarre reports includes phone camera video of unexplained green lights traveling beneath the surface of the ocean. Just so you know, it's not just UFOs, those things above us, but USOs, unidentified submersible objects.
Yeah. Again, my world is seeming very narrow. Within just the last few weeks, we talked about the high percentage of adults who sleep with some kind of light on.
Oh, yes.
It's either a childhood fear of the dark that has followed them into adulthood, or maybe something that, beset on them in adulthood, but they don't like the complete darkness. They like to sleep with some kind of light on. And I mean, everything from a night light to a table lamp to, full on overhead lighting.
Yeah. Let me say this. I don't like, as we talked about before, I like sleeping in complete darkness if I can get it.
Me too.
If I have to have a light on, this will sound really stupid. If I have to have a light on, I don't mind the TV.
Yeah.
The TV can be a light. Don't have to watch it.
I have a hard time with the TV
light
on.
See, but I don't really watch it. And of course, my phone is my baby TV.
Yeah.
So sometimes you can just turn it on, something to listen to, and turn it face down, and just go to sleep with it that way.
Yeah.
But anyway, but I like it dark in the room. So what is there a new study or what is the deal?
There is. Sleeping with the lights on is linked to a 42% higher risk of heart attack compared to sleeping in darkness. Now, this was a study that tracked nearly 90,000 adults over 9 years. So if you can get over that fear of the dark, it might be worth it to you to try to figure that out. The brightest bedrooms also showed higher risks for heart failure, coronary artery disease, irregular heartbeat, and stroke.
I wonder why. Does it give a why that would be? Is it you're not getting the right kind of restorative sleep? I mean, that could be.
I think
you have to have the whole thing. One of my twin boys. Both of them know about it, but one of them is really understanding exactly what needs. I think we talked about before, exactly what you need to do when you're sleeping, and getting the right kind of sleep, and what allows your body to heal and to function the next day. It's not just a matter of I'm not tired. No, it's the things your body has to heal, and it heals itself in part when you sleep, but not just when you sleep, but when you get the right kind of sleep at the right length that you need to get it. Anyway, that'd be really interesting to know if the lights actually impact that kind of sleep. I would bet it would.
That's absolutely right. The human body runs on circadian rhythms, those internal clocks that regulate everything from our blood pressure to our heart rate to the release of stress hormones. Light is the primary signal that keeps these rhythms synchronized with the 24-hour day. When it's light outside, we're awake. When it's dark outside, we sleep. When the light hits the eyes at night, it disrupts these rhythms. So that means that your blood pressure, which normally dips during sleep, that exposure to light can keep it elevated. The hormones that should peak in the morning might be released at the wrong times.
Sure.
And then the balance between the sympathetic nervous system, which activates that fight or flight response, and the parasympathetic system, which promotes rest and digest. So there's fight or flight and rest and digest. That gets all thrown off.
That makes complete sense to me. That you can fool the light can mess up your body in the sense that it fools the body into thinking it's a different time of day. It kind of messes up the normal. It's called the circadian, right?
Sure.
You mentioned it, but I always feel like I'm going to mispronounce it. But the circadian rhythm. This is how I've said before. One of the things I love about camping or being out in the environs is to, let's say, go fishing. You have a cabin. It's got some electricity, but basically it's got a wood stove, and you cook outside, and that kind of stuff. And I like that because when it's dark, your body begins to slow down, and you go to bed. And then when it's light, you get up. I mean, you don't worry about. You're not driven by a clock. It's more of your body, and this sounds really, I don't know, kind of hippie, but your body and the earth are sort of in rhythm.
It's kind of the way it was meant to be, the way we were created to be.
I think that. I really think that. And so I like anything that throws that off is odd for the body. And it doesn't surprise me that when you artificially sort of prop up something, make day last longer or whatever. It sort of jimmies with the system.
Well, I think about that now, too. I think it's not that different from the reasons why experts tell us put your screens down an hour before bed. That the light, the scrolling, the light from the phone can mess up just even your wind down. And I think about it in the middle of the night. I know people who, when they wake up in the middle of the night, the first thing they do is pick up their phone, and you put it right in your face and you start scrolling. And it's not bad enough that you woke up, but then you expose your eyes and your brain to that light. Sometimes I even wonder, like when I wake up in the middle of the night, I want to see what time it is, but I hesitate to even pick up the phone because even on its nighttime darker setting, I know even just that flash of light is could have an impact on how quickly I fall back to sleep. So I've been thinking I might actually have to get something that I haven't had in my home in probably more than a decade, which is a clock. Yeah. I don't have a clock. Yeah. I mean, except for the one that's on the stove.
You don't have one in the kitchen on the wall or anything?
I have no clocks anywhere. I mean, I have a watch on my wrist.
And your phone.
And I have my phone.
Yeah, and the TV would have it if you wanted it.
But I don't, I need to have just like some little bedside clock. And I think that would encourage me to keep the phone further away. I wouldn't even need to see it to know what time it is. So these numbers that, the 42% higher risk of heart attack and heart failure, coronary artery disease, irregular heartbeat, and stroke, this connection to the exposure to light at night, it holds even after accounting for diet and exercise and smoking and genetics. I mean, this is a big deal. If you think that this is something that might be impacting you, it could be as simple as just getting blackout curtains, turning off your devices, and keeping your bedrooms dark. That could really help protect your heart.
It's good. Let me do one more thing here before we part ways. And I'm just going to tell you, if you want this story, you can send us a request. Just send it to podcast@wildershow.com. There is a new breakthrough treatment for skin and colon cancer cells.
Oh, really?
And it destroys up to 90% of skin and colon cancer cells in just 30 minutes. Is that something? Yeah. It's a groundbreaking, it's a light therapy. A lot of people believe light and sound and vibration. This sounds crazy. But sound and vibration and light therapy on cancer cells is an under-researched thing.
Okay.
So this is from the Daily Mail in the UK. In the new method, researchers, actually, this is a story from the UK, but it's researchers from UT in Austin. They fired infrared light, type of light invisible to the eye, you know what that is.
I do.
From LED bulbs at test tubes that contained human skin cancer or colon cancer cells and healthy human skin cells. The tubes also contained nanoflakes of tin oxide, which were absorbed by the cancer cells. Let me keep going. The scientists found that when the light was fired at the cells, the nanoscopic flakes absorbed it and heated up, turning into microscopic heaters that then damaged the cancer cells and caused them to die.
Wow.
While leaving the healthy cells mostly undamaged. After 30 minutes, researchers found that the treatment had killed up to 92% of skin cancer cells and 50% of colon cancer cells, while the healthy cells remained largely unaffected.
Man.
I lost my dad to cancer. Everybody listening and everybody in this room, we've been impacted by cancer.
Yeah.
And if you want this story, just send us a request. Send us an email to podcast@wildershow.com. That is the Wilder Show podcast. Instagram, find us on Instagram. You'll search Wilder Show Pod, and you'll find us, and hopefully like it, follow it, subscribe, share it with your friends. Email, as we said, podcast@wildershow.com. The Wilder Show podcast drops Tuesdays and Fridays, 6 a.m. Central or before, on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeart, Amazon, YouTube, wherever you get your podcast. Like, rate, follow, subscribe, and share. And find us now and again on the TikTok at Wilder Show. Lauren, thanks.
Thank you.
We'll see you next time.
Okay.
Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Da